Hello, Free Enterprise fans. You are in the middle of some great OBS update shenanigans, but as always, we are going to bring you the show as it comes through. So yes, pardon our technical difficulties, but you know what? OBS, Free Enterprise, tech difficulties, we're good. I am JMac the Librarian, and I am here with Ribbon Quest doing a fantastic job on Restream trying to get this show on the road. Darth Plagle is our tracker, and I am joined in the booth by the Blue Wizard. Blue, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine there, pretty lady. We are here today, and it is glorious. uh, it's a fine day for technical difficulties. It really is. So, yeah, as you explained, Jimac, we are experiencing some technical difficulties. Nothing that we and our correct team of awesome, amazing admins can't go ahead and resolve. I'm actually about to go ahead and hit some audio that I need to. Oh, it's already pre-muted. And yeah, I mean, we are going to be off to an amazing race. It looks like our boss pool is going to be an absolute gaggle, as we are obstructed by some of the most heinous bosses in Free Enterprise. I remember a few of them. I know the first one is my mortal enemy, the Kaipo NPC boss, and then one of them is everyone's common enemy, the not just the dwarf that's in Dwarf Castle, but it's specifically the dwarf on the left that gates your access to the item shop. Do you recognize some of those, J-Mac?
Yeah, that's the one I was just about to say. I hate that dwarf. That dwarf can just, well, they could just disappear. Thanks.
Yeah, that's the moment where you want the ability, like if you get blocked for more than 2 seconds, to have the ability to just hop over them, or be like a certain Italian Japanese character and jump right on their heads and score.
That is why I love push B to jump so much, because you can just jump over these bosses and get done with it. But yeah, in a more serious way, on Dubward's side, we should be seeing the bosses here. But we are up and running. And it looks like...
let's get ready to speed race! And we're off with the telestart alongside of a king. With, spicy. Either a water hag or Babel Gauntlet. What will we see? We will find out eventually, maybe.
I was not prepared for that. Okay, well, yeah, that was a blue robe. We might need that blue robe later, or we might not. All right.
And we are with our regular bosses. We already see some divergence. We see Engidave going on over to Troya, most likely going to grab that free key item from Bedward. And Dubward heading on over to, it looks like, Mysidia, grab a couple characters, one being Viridia, and the other being...
a Palom.
A Palom. I just started via my race the other night, or some practice seats the other day, how to identify them better. And it's just by the shirt that they wear.
Yep, that is true.
And with our bosses, it looks like, with Fabul Gauntlet and Golbez being the two constant variables most of the time, some relatively tricky bosses in there.
Oh yeah, we do have quite a few that you want to see. My most favorite bosses ended up on this boss set, so great opportunity for some doing later. But it looks like Engidave found the Sad Ruby from Bedward, which is literally the worst key item you can get in this flag set, unfortunately. Sad Ruby does nothing other than adds a key item to your tracker.
Yep, and but it is one key item closer to that 10 key item double experience boost when you just haven't found the last boss or you haven't gotten yet to your grind. And as Chad pointed out, finding a cursed ring and finding a power shirt, a couple of
Mm-hmm.
really strong items really early on, that's going to make your anchoring situation that much easier.
With that elven bow and mute arrows just sitting right there, as well as that coffin. Public treasury for the win today.
Very much. It's almost like a pseudo treasury find. But all right, and we see that Engidave going off to get another character over in the Watery Pass. Pardon some more technical difficulties as my co-commentator jmech.exe breaks for a second time. So, yeah, yes, thank you, chat, for keeping a hold of the jmech snort count. There, we're going to be taking polls on whether or not we hit double digits.
I'll be okay in a minute.
And we see Dubward picking up an Edge. Ooh, this is getting to be a very, very jetty party. I mean, Tella with the utility, patently average Kane, and Edge with all of the weapons that can be thrown.
But hey, can we call him patently average when we pick up a white spear just sitting in the waterfall?
Oh, we most certainly can. When he hits / crits for 8100 and then swings again and hits for 1800.
Okay, I mean, yeah, that's fair. I was trying to give our Kane fans in the audience just a little bit of.
Oh yeah, no, we love
a little
him.
bit to stand on, but that was ripped right down. Sorry, chat.
Oh yeah, no, like we love it when he hits for really high, but we also, I think honestly, like on a serious note, I think that Kane is a very well-rounded character because while we do talk about his quote-unquote patently average attack rolls, he is still able to wear some of that heavier armor like Dragoon armor and other gear that just like Edge and Tella and casters can wear. So it's a nice balance for when you need someone who can take a couple of hits.
This is very true. So we do see Engidave deciding that he has enough loot is going to go ahead and start clearing out some of these first checks. Meanwhile, on Dubward's side, he is taking full advantage of this Tella, and he is full looting Watery Pass, and has found a couple of items that Engidave will not have, like that Ogre Axe, which could come in handy with an axe wielder. For getting through those Mad Ogre chests, picking up a nice mute knife there too. So a lot of just good utility items to just kind of help him get started.
Yep, and definitely a fair fight to see Odin over in the Antlion Cave. I personally am still learning where all of the ridiculously high magic spots are for Odin, and to see, Odin in anywhere on the surface, just about. I'm here for because I definitely don't want to see him, well, in his original spot where for some reason the magic power is through the roof.
And Antlion is giving us a pass. Not a terrible item to have right out of the gate. I love seeing an early pass because that will help, especially on boss hunts, kind of help guide your routing towards the end of the siege. So not a bad find in Antlion, for sure.
Definitely not. And we see Dubward heading on over to the Antlion Cave, prepping his gear a little bit before he goes in there for whatever may come his way. Oh, and Engidave not sticking the landing. Sorry, buddy, that for some reason can fly over lava but can't land on water. Which is kind of weird, in my opinion. Maybe it's not so buoyant that it can't just be on water. And an Engidave saying a hard no to that evil wall. Engidave, my hat's off to you. I would definitely do the same thing. Alright, look. Maybe it's the SS Enterprise, maybe it's the free Enterprise. Either way, we didn't have to actually pay for it, so, we're not really counting. Now, if you could land in the water while you have like maybe the hovercraft attached, that would be kind of cool. All right, so Jamie, taking a look at these bosses, you know, I know that it was kind of mentioned before. Where would you like you personally? Where would you like to not see some of these bosses?
Look, I don't like fighting most of these bosses at the elements spot on the giant, so let's just, I don't know, hope for our runners that we have to see an element required giant spot, because we like to watch our runners suffer a little bit.
Yeah, a little pain for entertainment purposes. It's I know that personally, I would not want to see. Oh, good gravy. I mean, some of them in the wrong spots are just terrible. Um, I mean, Mega Sisters in Ogopogo. Um, ooh, even Rubicon in Ogopogo. Because if memory serves, that Masamune altar, uh, it's got actually pretty good magic power, and it's also got really good physical attack power. Um,
Mhm.
and we see Engidave passing on Yang. And speaking of our favorite Nope Rope, uh, Ogopogo popped his head up for some air.
Oh yes. So yeah, Dave has decided that he has a good party as is. He's gonna keep that Edward for now. And pass up on our most favorite mage in the game, Yang. And meanwhile, Dubward is making very quick work of that Ogopogo and should be rewarded very soon with a key item from Fabul.
Whoop whoop. Yep, Yang is everyone's mage puncher. Punch mage?
Yes, Mage Punch. Oh! Pale Dim sighting. Let's go.
Oh, it's your favorite boss. Ah, yes. Oh, you know what? I'm exclaiming at this very moment. Pildem is French. Oh, oui, oui, madame et monsieur. Ah, doot, 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 doot. Just put a little hat on him, maybe a little mustache.
Yes, can we get a hat on Pale Dim, please?
It's gonna be like
sorry,
a
chat.
hat.
Fabul gave us our hook route, but we don't care about the hook right now. We care more about our French Pale Dim friend. Oh god, okay. Well,
Yep. All right, and we see Dubward heading on over to Damsian Castle. Water Hag. Water Hag. Honestly, I've heard some people mention that Water Hag in like Feymarch, location is really mean because I've gotten punched for 3K just into next Oblivion with level 20 characters, but it's not that bad. You just hold A and pray to the RNGesus that you can get those 3 hits in, because thankfully free bosses are on.
Yeah, that is true. However, when you've got, like an Edward with a crossbow in the back row, sometimes that bow just misses, and then you might be in some trouble. But it looks like Dave has gotten through this. Water Hag, no problem. Well, Palom had a little problem, but it's fine. We're fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine. It's dead. Which kind of vanilla-esque when you think about it. Granted, Water Hag's in a different location, but Edward was the one that killed him.
Okay.
And also, that tells us that the Fabul Gauntlet is over at the Baron Castle.
Yes, you know what? Yes, it does. I'd already forgotten that there was a blue robe in Baron. But yes, that does tell us where one of our locations are. It does mean that our runners are going to be looking for that Baron key to get that Fabul Gauntlet out of the way, and then also have 2 more boss checks in Baron.
Yep, and looks like Engidave picked up a whoosh whoosh sword, a lightsaber that can be tossed.
Or darted.
Or darted.
Well, yeah, we don't need to toss it or sell it. We've got a ninja here.
Yeah. we can toss it at the enemy and hope it goes pointy side in.
Oh, that's why. That's why he does different damage. Because sometimes it goes the wrong way.
Okay, Ed, you know which end of the sword goes into the
The
enemy, right?
pointy end.
The pointy
Stab him
end.
with the pointy end.
We see that in a good display of the white spear being used against Mylon and friends. Fun fact that I learned recently out of sheer unintended miss is that if you use the white spear as an item, it actually will do less damage than if you just whack them with it.
That is true, but it will cast white.
Oh, Monsieur French Paladin, comment allez-vous?
Oh god, chat. This number is gonna be very high by the end. I'm so sorry.
I mean, it's worthwhile.
Wee wee. Oh gosh.
J-Mac, I need you to take over comms for just a moment. I have some investigation of something to do real quick.
Okay, well, we have our first look at Baron with the Octomam. We will make very quick work of this because it only has 400 HP and we have an edge in our party with a full moon. And our second boss is going to be the D-Imps, which, you know what, here they kind of punch a little hard, but we should have some good J items to just take them out really fast. So not much worry here because this spot is very slow.
Yep, and we see all the J items coming out. The Boreases, the Gaia drums. That one Dark Imp is just holding on to the edge.
He said, "Not today."
Well,
oh, there we go.
What do we say to the Spoony Bard? Not today.
We don't have a Spoony Bard yet.
Yet. Just,
But we do have a Luca key, which, you know what, might be gating one of our required bosses later, but I don't think we're going to see that being used anytime soon.
I don't know. It's I did do something kind of cheeky the other night when I was running a practice seat, and that I decided to go do the Luca route because on the Blue Moon scene, we have that we do have the option for warp glitch, where actually I went ahead and I went through Luca, spied the item, so this way I could actually see if I wanted to go ahead and pick up that item via the warp glitch going into Dwarf Castle, which is kind of interesting. If seeing a player do that if they go that route, but
for sure,
they have to get underground first.
So Miss Cave has a Baigan. Baigan not required this seed, so we have noped out of that. So Dave is now headed to Fabul. He will be rewarded with his hook momentarily, and then he should be heading underground pretty soon. Because I think that is all of our checks.
Is that? Maybe, kind of, sort of.
Other than the waterfall boss?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And we see
And Dubward has gotten through ordeals, so he will be headed down the mountain, probably to go spy Baron in before he also heads down the hook route. So we should see some convergence pretty soon. The big question is going to be, are our runners going to loot Eblin Castle or not?
I mean, I would think Evelyn Castle is a viable loot. I mean, with both Edge and Kane in the party, you have the ability to utilize a lot of the weapons that would come out of there. Your Dragoon Spears, your White Spears, the Rune Axes, because we do have Magus Sisters on the table. And Magus Sisters in the wrong spot will give them a lot of health even after that percentile split.
That is a good point. And while we did find that that elven bow and mute arrows in the public treasury, we really don't have someone like strong to yield them. And I don't think we want to be necessarily depending on Palom or Rydia to use a bow and arrow to get through that on the hook route. So that
Well,
is not a bad point.
we did also, at least on Dubward47, I saw him pick up a mute knife out of the watery pass. So putting that on edge will definitely help, but it doesn't hurt when you can zerk up, 2 people with mage killers.
That is very true. But chat is also pointing out that we might see an Eblin Cave fade, an Eblin Castle fade, and instead do Eblin Cave, loot that for some high tier loot, as well as perhaps take that Mad Ogre chest to try and get a little bit more experience and maybe try and nab an edge sword from there instead.
Definitely. Provided they can get past one of the meanest trap chests out there, Double Staleman.
Double Staleman.
More like
bane of my
Rootman.
existence.
Same. Because you don't quite know the bane of existence until you have a pally cecil doing cover and then get knocked to sleep doing that cover.
Oh, that sounds like something that's happened to you recently.
Cough, cough. I don't know what you're talking about.
So we do see Dave headed straight down to the shop, probably hoping for some hourglasses. Oh, look, there's some hourglasses and some coffins. This is a great shop for Eblin Cave for sure. Yep, immediately exiting out. We're going to see him head straight over to Eblin Castle so that he is prepped to take on these 3 trap chests, get some extra loot before heading down the hook route, and more importantly, probably that extra experience.
Definitely. And, I totally would have been fine with if they were going to fade Castle Eblin to some degree, just fading the front and the left, because if you go down the right side, you only have the right side, poof, you're right out. And if you get something good, you don't have to go very far.
That is very true.
Especially with Tella being online with all the spells, all those chests are going to be relatively easy. Go ahead and size the Mad Ogres, and then stops, weaks. But hopefully you can kill Black Cat with this party.
Oh yeah, well, we have hourglasses, so we can kill anything.
Yeah.
Might take a minute, but yeah, it'll get done.
Just envisioning like Palom and Edward just standing there with a knife and a staff, going, "You stay right there and don't do anything for the rest of the fight. We're gonna kill you eventually." Mad Ogre standing there like, "Man, I really want to punch you, little child, but I this hourglass. We got like 50 more clicks." Looking at a watch that doesn't exist on his arm, like, come on, man, hurry up.
This is so much like storytelling going on right now. I am totally here for this.
Palom attempting to do fire to rid Engidave of those skeletons, but not quite getting it. His elder and senpai Edge just kind of going, "Okay, kid, you want to see how fire works? Here, let me show you."
So we do see Dubward headed into Eblin Castle as well. He did not go to Eblin Cave first, so does not have those hourglasses, but has decided that his party is strong enough to take on these trap chests without them. Because he does have that mute knife, so the Mad Ogres aren't even that scary. So yeah, we should be getting our first glimpse at what loot awaits us here.
Yep, and you were mentioning about that they were going to converge here soon, and it looks like the convergence happened on Eblin Castle. Did you know, J-Mac, chat kind of pointed out a bit about lore, is that originally Edge wasn't going to be his name. His name was actually going to be Edward. And then, they put Edward in, and they're like, well, we can't have 2 Edwards, so we're just going to call him Edge.
No, I did not know that. But why would we name 2 characters out of 12 Edward? I don't understand. Why was that even a thing?
It's bad enough that they have 1 character named Edward, but it works because, you've got Bedward and Floorboard and um, Spoony Bard.
Okay, to be fair, I don't think that they knew that Floorboard was going to be a viable name, because I don't think the creators knew 30 years later we were going to be creating a randomizer. And also, that was a useless crystal sword.
Ooh.
Cheers.
Cheers. And now, do we assert dominance by throwing it in the trash can? Do we sell it? Do we take it one step further and blow a whistle and give it to the fat chocobo?
I think we found a lot of pretty decent loot. I do think that our runners are actually probably going to sell it to get some money to get those needed J items. Well, there's an Avenger, so maybe we don't need as many Bacchus wines as I was about to say we might. But Hourglasses, Coffins, Sirens, this party, without a white mage, we will probably be leaning into some pretty heavy, high stacks Bacchus wines when we find those. So I have a feeling that our Crystal Sword will turn into some Bacchus for sure.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you mentioned that there's no white mage, and you are absolutely correct. And without a skip of a beat, not even thinking of the old man as a white mage.
Oh, for sure. He can heal Cure 4 for hundreds of damage, or for hundreds of hit points.
Yes. The hundreds
and
of
we
hit
do
points.
have a Sylphridia. I haven't seen an Ashura, but she could be utilized as a white mage, but also she's the only one that can wear that heroine robe. So
Yes.
we'll see how our runners today will kind of utilize all of this fantastic Evelyn gear. However, unless this Mad Ogre chest gives us an edge sword, we do not have a great weapon for him yet.
No, and it looks like Engidave is doing some Bacchus wine stealing.
Don't blame him. We're definitely going to need some Bacchus, especially in his party, with the fact that Tella is his white mage, and Tella normally gets bopped immediately.
Although, you gotta give the old man some credit. He can take a hit. It's not very many, but...
A Dragoon Lance. So Kane is kitted up. We've got an Avenger, Dragoon Lance, a White Spear. He's ready to go. Edge. Our Edge, I think, is right now rocking a full moon and some sort of dagger. So maybe Eblin Cave will have the ninja swords that we need desperately.
Maybe.
We did get a lot of money. We like money.
All right, and treasure. Engidave making his way down through Evelyn.
Yep. Looks like no ninja swords today, but he has found something he wants to buy, or maybe he's just selling some stuff. Oh, ninja stars.
Yep.
That'll make Edge pretty viable on this hook route without a very good weapon.
Definitely. And
Yes, chat. I have become a librarian because I make bank as a librarian. Let me tell you, that's where the money is.
They say it's more about like the job itself, and I think for a librarian, it is more about the job because you're not having to spend money on all of these books that you get to read for free.
You know what? This is true. I can read to my heart's desire, and oh look, there's a CPU at the Rubicante spot. Not exactly, you know how you were asking me where I wouldn't want to see these bosses? I don't necessarily want to see CPU at this exact spot.
You know what? It's not the worst spot in the world, and I honestly say that because I mean the attacker orb is still only gonna do 10%, and that main orb is not actually going to do anything except for literally just sit there. Well, okay, float there. No, actually,
no, he's not even floating.
He's not even floating. I remember that because I believe it was one of our other races actually where the floating McFloat strat was used, failing miserably if I remember correctly. But it was still a viable strat that, yeah, if done correctly, um, would be very, very good. I do the words
goodness.
good. That's why I'm here on comms.
Okay. All right. Well, there we go. Okay.
Alrighty.
So Dubward is taking on this dreaded Staleman chest, but is doing it very quickly. Should get through. Oh, casting Chocobo. Let's go. Love a good Chocobo cast.
Same. The always good to get that sort of not can't reflect, the spell because it's not a spell, but at the same
And
time.
how about a second Avenger?
So you've heard of First Avenger, but what about Second Avenger? And that's how the Marvel movies were made. Alright, I've got some screens moved around, I can see things better. This is good times. Alright, cool. So, it looks like both of our runners are diving the hook route, and we see that that spicy taco topping.
Look at this double required hook route, y'all.
So y'all wanted a semi-fast jet seed, right?
I mean, this overworld clear into this hook route, sub 30 minutes. Getting down here is a pretty quick seed. And yeah, finding the ruby into the CPU. And you know what? I think our runners are probably thinking, yay, these bosses aren't somewhere else.
Yep, definitely. I mean, I know that Rubicon with the glares and the fire 3s are just absolutely terrible. And we see that nice little tick of damage taking out Rubicon in the hook one spot. And there was a thought, just the fact that the hook route is double hard required almost makes me think that somebody, a certain someone who rolled this seed was channeling Pokemon. Just, oh, you're ready for trouble? Now make it double with CPU. But still, I hit point aside, CPU honestly isn't that bad, regardless of the spot. Unless it's in, actually, I take that back. I have yet to see CPU in the sealed cave location, which I can only imagine just how that would go, because that attacker or hitting for 10% of your health, but moving that fast, which I think it's actually the fastest spot in the game.
I believe there's probably a faster spot, and I know it's one of the fastest, for sure. But the CPU is not a scary boss, it just takes forever. But thankfully Dave did go and buy those ninja stars, so that will definitely help eat up this 25,000 HP spot here. So we should be seeing him make pretty quick work of this otherwise slog of a boss.
Definitely, and honestly, if there's a boss that you want to pull out some of the stops on, not necessarily all of the stops, but pull out, throw out some of those higher tiered weapons just to get through it quicker. The Rubicon / Hook 2 spot is definitely going to be one of those spots where you just kind of throw your lightsabers, throw your, throwable items that you picked up, so you can get through it that much quicker.
For sure, for sure. Also, welcome in, Raiders. If you are just now joining us, we are 30 minutes into this heck of a seed. And if you didn't know, Pale Dim is French. That's pretty much all you've missed so far.
Oh, yeah? He is French now.
You have to warn me before you do this, please.
Do what? I'm just commentating on a Saturday afternoon.
Oh my god.
Yes, hello Raiders, I'm the Blue Wizard, I'm joined by J-Mac. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and give our runners and our people behind the scenes some follows. We have Ribbon Quest providing you this amazing seed and doing the streams. We have the awesome and amazing Darth Plague pushing buttons and making sure that all of the awesome and amazing key items do appear on your screen in real time. And as I mentioned, the ever awesome J-Mac, the library, my co-commentator.
And Blue, who does great sound effects, let me tell you, and has made it his mission today to break me as many times as possible.
Yes, there's a off-screen in-chat tracker. I think we're up to what, six?
Look, I'm not looking anymore.
Oh, yeah, I'm off looking. That being said, it looks like Engidave is through that CPU fight.
Yes, so he will be hitting his pitfall at about 33 minutes, 28 seconds. That's not an about, that was an exact. Sorry, y'all. And Dubward will be hitting pretty close behind, making very quick work of this CPU as well. And that was Baron Guards of some sort on the top, which could be required. So we may see a pretty quick tower peak at this point, even without the tower key.
Yep, and hopefully, I mean, it could be one of our objectives. It could be not. And we see Engidave launching the Falcon.
Does he land? That is the question. Nope. He has decided that he's going to do what has probably become a pretty regular opener for hitting underground, checking Dwarf Castle, because there are some great shops, as well as 2 bosses and 2 key items with the warp glitch on. Definitely don't hate this play. Probably trying to spike a tower key to make that climb up to check that boss at the top of tower worth it for the 2 boss checks. But, you know, could just as easily have landed and peeked it, because, you know, when you're on a boss hunt, there really are no wrong choices. They're just incorrect for the seed choices.
Yep, because there's good guessing and then there's not good guessing. Because guessing has exacts.
Also, ew.
Oh, Mom Bomb. Yeah. You know, I fought Mom Bomb once at Antline. That was an experience. Going through 10,000 health plus.
For that silly little spot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean,
the thing about this spot is that he hits pretty hard. But you know what? We have a cane with an Avenger. A back row cane with an Avenger at that. So
yes, because on this flag set we do have the back row glitch, unlike that pesky Red Moon bunch.
Pesky Red Moon flags.
where they don't cough. Where they don't have the back row glitch, they only actually have the life glitch.
So we do get through that Mom Bomb without seeing it explode because, you know what? Kane is actually rocking this seed. He's a little more than patently average today. What?
Don't say those words. He'll hear you.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And then he'll go back to just like not being what the people expect him to be.
Oh, and hey, Mega Sisters.
So, speaking of stuff that's required, thankfully, she was not in a spot where, you know, the magic is going to be super redonkulous.
Yeah, the magic in this spot is not very much because the game didn't want Golbez to just completely kill your party right here. And with 3,000 damage spread across 3 sisters, this fight will go very quickly, and Dave will be 4 boss checks done by the under 40 minutes. So we are rocking and rolling.
Yep, and as some of us have personally experienced, as I'm sure a lot of you out there can attest to this, that the this particular set of flags, has had its moments where you get either a lot of key items or you get a lot of the boss checks done early, and then you're spent running around for another 45 minutes looking for like the last two bosses.
Yeah, for sure. Because you know what? Bosses like to hide. They like to hide in very tight corners in very gated places.
Yep, they saw Edward and they're like, "Oh, if he can do that, why can't we?" And then they'll hide behind like a tower into Twin Harp into package.
Oh, hey, Darkness.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
That is a vanilla Darkness, even though we got it in Dwarf Castle, because reasons. That crystal room is the exact same crystal room that is in the Luca Cave.
Yep, we're going to the moon again.
Not yet. We don't know when we're going to the moon. We might not have to go to the moon. We have a pass.
This is true. It is entirely possible that the moon could be haunted. Alright, and Engidave doing a little shopping on his side, hoping to find something.
No ninja swords to be found.
No ninja swords, no ninja hats.
You know, and I missed what we actually got from Dwarf proper. I don't think it was a key item.
No, I don't believe so.
Oh, pink tail. Just kidding.
Thank you, chat. This is why you exist.
Well, they exist because otherwise we would just be sitting here talking to ourselves.
I mean, someone's got to keep us company. All right. What? Oh, hey, you know what?
Cat claws.
Cat claws.
But we don't really need them because we did not take the young. Oh, but we are gonna get a job dwarf check. Let's go, Dave. A funeral director.
Oh snap!
How lively.
Yep. The it's. I just want to make note for the record. I didn't do that to her this time. She did it to herself. And I am here for it.
All right. Well, okay. Meanwhile, Dubward is hitting his mom bomb, casting Sylph, making use of that Rydia that he has decided is better with levels than without. Thank you, Dubward. Appreciate you.
I wonder if the job dwarf today. Well, I mean, because the dwarf that stands in front of the potty, I mean that can't be the same dwarf. It has to be on like a rotational thing that they just. I mean, you stand in front of a dwarf potty for very long, you're gonna die, and they need someone to direct that. So, they brought in the funeral director. I understand it's kind of a crappy job, but somebody's got to do it.
No, you did not just say that.
Walking around, bring out your dead. Oh, I'm not dead. I actually feel quite good. Dunk. I got better. But he only got better by drinking out of. We're just gonna. Oh, look, it's plague.
Plague, not the sparkle we were looking for.
I'm sensing a bit of a theme with this seed. We have the funeral director. We have plague. I mean, D-lunars. A lot of death in this seed.
Yeah, Chad is pointing out that is a free plague, so we probably will see. Yes, and Dave is going to go back down, reform his party, and take on this spot. Just to, we have darkness, but we are missing so many gating key items, including that Baron key. So probably going to still continue to check for key items as much as possible right now, because we know that football gauntlet is just sitting in the Beigen spot.
Yep, and Engidave popping up, the Avenger Sword, Bacchus, and then, gonna get some spells off. which is actually a really good play because I mean, there's a few ways to approach it. If you go ahead and just kind of clog up that queue with Plague, that that count timer is actually never going to resolve. Um, which in certain scenarios where you don't have you know, enough Bacchus or maybe someone that can cast Berserk at the time, uh, you can do like I did and hold A for 5 minutes while fighting Plague, because everyone is taking an action and it's not actually allowing the count timer to resolve. Plague is still going to go ahead and take actions, you're going to take actions, but because there's so many actions actively going into the queue, it's never going to actually get a chance to go and finish up and do the thing. But
For sure.
we see Engidave clear as day through that fight without taking another point of damage.
Ooh, for a rat tail.
Ooh.
Very interesting.
Yes, a tall tale indeed.
He is saying no thanks to the elements, and is deciding probably to go chase this rat tail. May peek the top of tower first. May set up Sheila 1 first. Oh, top of tower it is.
Top of tower it is.
And Dubward has finished with his dwarf castle checks. So we are still pretty tight. Dave is up 1 boss check right now, but this is still anyone's race with so much of the world open and yet so much still gated.
Yep, and well, we'll see if that top of tower or keyless tower check provides us a viable key item, or maybe a just good usable weapon, or maybe even something you know, that can sell for a good chunk of change. All right. See, lots of running around. Old man getting his Pilates in for the day.
2 dancing daggers. Let's go.
I believe there's a, you know, safety dance song involved with this. We see a lot of railings in the Fey March. Definitely good on the Land of the Monsters for, you know, for abiding by the OSHA checks. Because, I mean, you know, Leviathan's down here, and every time he shifts forms, you know, he's kind of doing the safety dance. You know, I bet he's the safety inspector, chief safety inspector, Leviathan. I can see it now. And just kind of, you know, when no one's around, just kind of wiggling and dancing. He's not really saying much.
Do you sing that song every time you fight Leviathan?
I might just have to.
Oh look! Top of tower required!
Oh, very much required.
And those coffins are going to come in handy. We are coffining the officer. We are not life glitching, but we are just going to make very quick work of these soldiers. And regardless of what this key item is, we have our 5th boss on Engidave's side.
Yep. And 1 step closer to that 7 out of 8 requirement.
For another Dragoon Lance.
So another, oh boy, that's a throwing item. Or rather, oh boy, that's a dart.
Oh no!
Oh, uh-oh.
Dave noped out of that boss.
Oh, yeah, no, I can't say that I blame him, because the Tower of Babel, you can't exit out of, and you can't warp out of. So, you know, that's a good minute.
But that's a required boss.
Oh, that it is. Well, you know, no, I got nothing. Maybe he'll come back to it if he can't find everyone else. But I don't know why he would, because yeah, that's a required boss. You walk that out at that point. And we see Dubward going about to do the Luca check. And I'm curious to see what's going to be down here. Interesting. Engidave going back to the Fey March. What will they fight? Nobody knows. Except for them, because they're 10 minutes into the future. Let's see. Taking a quick look here.
Okay, yes. I think we have the wrong boss marked. I think it is the Baron Guards.
Oh.
So that would be why he noped out.
Okay. I didn't quite check it at the start of stream.
Yep.
Okay.
We have fixed it on ours. It is not a reset. Yes, because Dave is using an auto tracker on his stream, and both Dave and Dubward have Baron Guards and not Officer Soldier. So, phew! That's our bad. But I'm glad that we didn't just nope out of a required boss.
Like, gosh, who's running this thing?
Phew!
All right, cool. So we are still at 4 and 4 on each side of 7. What is at Sealed Cave? The Cowbrain. They are a set of porcelain dolls that can stay in the cave.
Yeah, they're not even worth fighting for experience at all.
No.
They're not worth fighting ever unless you have to.
Yep. And you just nope, and we're gone. Meanwhile, Dubward on his way to that top of tower. Yeah.
Top of tower, he will also find Officer Soldier. We will probably see him find that Dragoon Spear and say, nope, well, he didn't save, chat says. So he will probably walk this out. Because I don't know the last time he saved.
That is a spicy check. Because I mean, you have to feel pretty confident in your guessing skills. I can do the words, chat. I have done this before. I am a professional. You know that word.
Hey, Blue. Do you like a crystal sword?
Oh yeah. They're crunchy,
how about second crystal sword?
Delicious. delicious.
That rat or that pink tail turn-in was a second crystal sword this seed. So if our runners were feeling strapped for cash at all, like, never fear. We have more cash than we can spend at this point.
Yep. Although I did see a carrot in Silveris that you can buy a lot of with that crystal sword.
So many carrots.
I think the math was done at something like 1,200-ish. Like 1,200 carrots for the price of a crystal sword sale.
That is so many stacks of carrots. But we did, more importantly, get that tower key from the rat tail turn-in. So that is another gated boss off that we can go and check now.
Yep.
Sheila 1 turned into a Zeus gauntlet. Not the Baron key we were looking for, but definitely a piece of armor that we are not hating to walk out for sure.
Yeah, no, I would definitely walk out a Zeus gauntlet for sure. You know, definitely could make quite a steal with a lot of carrots. Only if you could carrot all.
Oh, no.
Yep,
no.
I did it.
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did.
Bygone Spot is our blue robe, our alt gauntlet. So we
Yep.
definitely know we are looking for a Baron key. Probably.
Yep, and kind of makes you wonder. So I've seen a few different plays at this when people do get into Baron, um, that they'll either do the Vigan spot, and then they'll go to the throne room. But I've seen some people also go the route of, um, once they beat that Vigan spot, going down to Baron basement. Do you have a favorite routing method for getting into Baron?
For getting into Baron?
Well, I mean, going after the Vigan spot, are you the type of runner who likes to go to the Baron throne room, or to the Baron basement for that summon check?
Oh, most definitely, and on these flags in particular, because See No Earned is on and the Baron cutscene is so much shorter. I am definitely checking Baron Throne first, saving, and then doing Baron Basement.
Completely understandable. Yeah, because well, if it pays out, you definitely walk out the Odin throne room. But if it doesn't, then you just kind of wasted that to and from walk. Because that is a rather lengthy walk I just learned recently. It's like a couple minutes, 2 or 3, I think, in total. And again, you can't warp out, you can't exit out, so you actually have to go and run, and hopefully not, run into walls along the way. Pesky doors.
Pesky, pesky doors. So we do see Engidave headed back up the tower to peek this tower key boss. It is a purple robe. Purple robes not required. We know this is Mylon Z.
Yep.
But we are taking it for the key item, hoping it's Baron, before heading to the moon, because that's all we have left at this point. Other than the going back and taking the elements in the Fey March.
Yep, and well, we see that the lunar whale is raised on Dubward's side, but not quite going to the moon just yet.
Ooh, are we gonna get a music check?
I think we are. Yep, we are going to get a harpsichord check over on Dubward's side, provided he can catch the chocobo. Oh, there we go.
Chocobos are hard, man.
Yeah, they're definitely kind of flighty.
Not all of them.
No, some of them they're like penguins. They're technically birds, but they can't fly.
But they can walk really cute.
They can. Just stay away from the red ones. They'll cast Meteor on you.
There are red chocobos?
Not in Final Fantasy IV.
Oh, okay.
But if anyone gets the reference, or does not, it's actually from Final Fantasy Tactics. The red chocobos can cast Meteor.
And that was a pan!
Oh. And we see Engidave going down into the Self Cave to iron out the rest of that route. However, not Baron or Baron. Wait. I just want to say real quick, I appreciate Ribbon Quest and our awesome Darth Plagueis for behind the scenes stuff. Keeping up with everything on the fly as we attempt to say words in an effort to commentate.
We loved 2 crystal swords, but how about a 3rd crystal sword? And none of these were in... No, one of them was in a trap. Okay. Oh my gosh.
So that thing about being broke in this seed, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. But you know what is gonna happen? We're about to get some music, so we're gonna take a quick break and let y'all listen to some Spoony Bees, DJ Spoony Bees, great tunes.
Yep, and music in this game is randomized, brought to you by the Amazing Xena Cat and some other fan favorites. So give it a listen, and I'll shut up now.
Wow, what a fantastic song.
Such a good song.
Unfortunately, just a well, I mean, it is a fantastic hat, but not a hat that we're gonna spend the time walking out.
Oh, and I was shifting screens around. What kind of a hat was it?
A glass hat.
All right. Oh, I mean, oh,
So, yes to the fantastic music that we got this afternoon, but unfortunately, that did not pan out because we know that the pan check is from the tower key, so it definitely didn't pan out. So now we see Dubward headed up to the moon while Dave is chasing that Baron key that came from this very, very long rat tail chain.
yep. And we'll definitely go ahead and pick up the take on that alt gauntlet and get to see do two more boss checks for the Baron throne room and the Baron basement. And Senator Crocodile makes his ever so common appearance. Speaking of
Elect
people,
Senator Crocodile for senator.
no. He's not elect. The fish in the front were. 'Cause they're
Blue.
elect fish.
Blue. That was terrible.
Yes. We know what these folks are? They are croc of one of a kind. Or crock pot. Speaking of, crock pot food is very delicious.
I don't even know anymore.
That's the point. It's a finely engineered game that's been
Ew,
randomized.
gross. That Val can stay right there.
Yep. Although it's not. So that was Valvalis.
Yes.
Yep, because I'm paying attention. That's actually for those of our folks in chat who don't actually look at the Valvalis magic defense chart. That is the only spot on the moon where she does not have perfect magic defense while in tornado form.
So she's pretty nukeable there then.
Very nukeable.
Too bad we don't have nuke.
And too bad we don't have any dukes. 'Cause-
Nope, don't have
That's-
them either.
Nope, because that was totally not a Duke Nukem reference.
And to answer a question in chat, Tella is a white mage, or we have Sylph Rydia on Dubward's side.
Yep. Although I did see, I think it was on Engidave's side, an Ashura in a shop.
Oh.
Just didn't see if it was picked up or not. Which I mean, with Rydia, well, if you took Rydia, you would definitely want to go and pick that up with no white mages.
But we did also find Cure 3s down in the Feymarch, so
We did.
I don't know if Dubward bought any. I know Dave bought 20.
Because, with 3 crystal swords in the seed, you can totally buy elixirs at that rate.
You can buy whatever you want.
Yeah. Just kind of walk into the shops and go, I'll take everything. I'll take the lot.
So Dark Elf is hiding on the Baron Throne. Not a boss we are looking for, but we'll make pretty quick work of this spot, and then probably also peek Baron Throne. Basement. And then Dave's gonna have a decision. Does he chase the Twin Harp, or does he head straight to the moon?
That's a very, very good question. Because, both are going to be good routes, but much like Dubward did earlier, where his party was already low on health and he just had to get hit by one spell, that's very good for when you're just exiting the Fame Arch or the Sylph Cave after taking damage from those tiles. Um, so definitely a good play, but it is still a rather lengthy walk and a check for some potential key boss or key item. And we see on Dubward's side doing the Gold Dragon King Ryu life glitch to go ahead and get that little extra experience to go ahead and start blowing up the moon.
Yep, Dubward is only at 6 key items, so we're only getting 90,000 for this grind. But not a bad way to kind of infuse your hit points before trying to take on some of these moon boss spots.
And we see Engidave getting a Legend Sword, which is going to be 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11
Yep,
key
he
items.
is now at 11, yes. So he will peak this, and then chat is pointing out there's another viable play of slingshotting Rydia and Yang.
Yes.
And then doing giant checks.
I honestly wonder if maybe that's what Dave is gonna do, is to go ahead and just do a D money grind and get that Rydia slingshotted up to nuke. Slingshot. Shotting of the sling. And we see Dubward attempting that DKC.
That DKC hits pretty hard, and he did not buy Cure 3s. Oh, he has 1 Cure 3.
And yes, Pale Dim is now French. Dark Elf is pseudo French Canadian.
Oh yeah, French Canadian. Yep, that's it.
And let's see, at Ribbon Room we have another DKC attempt. And pop. Well, some of those waves coming out just a little too quick.
Yep, needs a little bit more hit points to be able to get through that. We need to be able to survive the 2 waves and then get the Cure 3 off before the 3rd.
Yeah, if the waves can roll, just because I think it's that you want to go ahead and drop a Cure 2 and then maybe a Cure 3 after that second wave. Good, it should be fine.
Nope.
But not gonna get it off yet. You have to do it really quick. Because yeah, much like Chad is pointing out, you want to roll into the wave, so you have to almost stagger your cure pots. All right, and it looks like that yeah, Dave has gone ahead and swapped out for the Rydia, I believe. So we very much may get Rydia to do nuke on the seed. And yep, okay. Looks like Dave is going outside of Baron to go ahead and do the D-money manipulation.
Okay, good. We did get the Young too. Okay.
Yep. Oh, so we're gonna see a double slingshot.
We will see a double slingshot. I don't know if he picked up those claws though. The cat claws.
Which claws? Cat claws. Oh, we do have a ninja hat. We have a song. I was actually just thinking about that the other day when I picked up a ninja hat, and I'm just like, ninja hat? Why does that sound so familiar in my head? And I'm just kind of going, ninja hat, ninja hat. I'll give a cookie to whoever gets the reference in chat later. No. I didn't say e-ninja. I said ninja hat. Was that from Ribbon Room? The ninja hat?
No, the package in the Earth Crystal.
Oh.
A double hit there. Super interesting because that reveals 2 more locked bosses. And I say 2 more because you can just peek Zot 1 without having the Earth Crystal.
Yep, and but only if you get that prior to going into the dwarf castle, which unfortunately doesn't quite happen unless you get that on the surface or on the overworld prior to.
Oh, we have found a required boss at the Massa Moon altar. D-Lunars. Let's get some frog strats, y'all.
Yep, provided that Dubward can go ahead and survive the 5 punches. Unfortunately, some of those darts are not necessarily going to hit as hard as, well, one might hope. So yes, while our runners do not have any traditional white mages, Edge does have image, so he can go ahead and self blink, and Tela does have also all of the white mage spells, so a Cure 4, which has been case in point.
That Cure 4 healed for 84. Oh gosh.
Yep, that's
Tela tries. He tries so hard.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But you know what? Callum is making great use of Quake here, so we might get lucky.
Tela just got newspapered by the D-Lunars. Like, you're for. Stop that.
We've got the 1-star veil out. And 1 frog.
Hey, you know what? It's something. Because those D-Lunars.
I don't know if it's gonna be enough. We'll see.
So, fun fact, did you know that if you only have one of the D-Lunars frogged when they go to do their virus check, they will actually hit their own teammate?
I don't know if I did know that. I should know that, shouldn't I? But I don't know if I actually could have told you that. Oh, look!
Right there. And in this spot, because it's at the Ogos point, they're gonna do extra damage. So those D-Lunars hitting their own teammates for 3,600 definitely gonna help out Dubward in this case.
Yeah, I definitely like seeing the D-Lunar kill the frog. That's good. That gives us the opportunity to kind of revive a little bit.
Yep, and
but meanwhile, we do see that Dave has found his D-Money grind. Fight will be doing 3x3 because we're at 10 key items, and it takes 6 to slingshot Rydia to nuke, and we have slingshot and 10 key items, so we only have to do 3 with a life glitch.
Yep, which is very nice, and it's gonna make this seed go by just a bit quicker. And I say a bit quicker because we still have a couple bosses on Dave's side. That Golbez is hiding out somewhere.
Golbez and the Baron Guards. We have not seen either of them.
Yes, Baron Guards. Not Baron Officers, Baron Guards. We want to make that patently distinct. Legally distinct. Don't worry, folks. We are trained professionals. We know what we're doing.
Oh yeah, trained professionals.
And if anything should happen to us, you can go see the job dwarf down in the underground. And we see Dubward attempting those D-Lunars again. Everyone deciding just about that it's nap time. Leviathan saying, hey, giving everyone a nice little wave.
Yeah, this is definitely a spot where you don't want to see these D-Lunars because they're just really mean. They
They
both have
are.
a lot of hit points, and you have to just almost lean into the frog strats in this spot because I don't think that with a ungrinded party you're just gonna kill them quick enough.
Yeah, it's like you do have some nice damage coming from Rydia, some moderate damage coming from Alum with the Quake. Uh, but yeah, unless it goes just according to plan, you're gonna hit it. Like right there, one D-Lunar out, but that fire came over and just caught the rest of his party. Um,
Whew.
so it's yeah, it's definitely a tough fight for sure. It not and not a lot of people actually go ahead and use the ninja skills from Edge all that often, but they actually do a lot more damage than people might be led to believe.
Meanwhile, that got really dicey on Dave's side, but he managed to recover quickly and has healed up his party, and we are going for, I think this is number 4?
Well, I wonder if Engidave is going for a Meteo slingshot.
Probably not a Meteor Slingshot. He's probably going to make that Yang super buff and is going to try and get Palom as close to nuke as possible for 2 nukers, would be my guess.
Entirely possible. Because, yeah, 2 nukers. Yeah, I can see some hybrid strats with this team.
Since it won't take that many more with the levels that Palom already has. So, the time difference between doing 3 and doing 5 is not that much when you're going to have double nuke party and can just blow through the moon bosses at this point.
Yep, it's that's definitely gonna be blow up the seed time after this.
Meanwhile, Dubward is in another attempt, has 1 D-Lunar down,
Oh,
doesn't get didn't get a Star Veil off in time.
Nope.
And these frogs are gonna go down real fast. I'm not laughing at you, Dubward. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at the math in chat right now. Yeah. I do applaud Dubward's tenacity. He knows that this is a required boss spot. So he is trying very, very hard to get these strats to go just his way. We may see him lean more into just starveiling up and waiting.
So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out there that I do like the Starveil near the start play. However, if you drop a Starveil on Edge, because he's so fast, the Starveil only lasts for so many ticks. There's a chance that the Starveil may actually run out before the D-Lunars get their deep breath off. So, but if he went ahead and threw a Curse Drain on Edge, then that Starveil is going to last a little bit longer. But I don't know, I've seen so many resets so far. I'm not sure.
And Chad is pointing out that Dave stopped his D-Money grind 1 level short of Rydia getting Meteo, but don't worry, we're going to kill at least 1 boss spot, and she will have Meteo before the end of this game.
Yep, that's is it the first spot here, the element spot that gives like 300,000 experience?
Yeah, 200, 205 here, and 300 at the CPU spot. Dave is hoping this is his go mode, or his sparkle, but this is gross 65k of Wyvern. Thankfully, this spot Mega Nukes don't hurt as much. Yang survives.
Yang in this particular moment is kind of like if Arnold Schwarzenegger was maybe Russian, and he's just like, Your
Oh,
Mega Nuke, it tickled.
I did not see that that flip over to Palom, and I thought he just direct casted that nuke onto Wyvern, and okay, much better.
Good gravy. Young, just taking these hits like a champ.
I mean,
A
that's
Mega
what
Nuke,
6k HP will do for you.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that is impressive, but unfortunately, not going to give Dave much of an edge here when you're having to heal up Young.
He thought about putting that warp in the top spot and then decided, wait a minute, I don't want to do that. So he is deciding that 65k of Wyvern is just not worth the time investment. We'll be warping out of the giant and we'll be headed to the moon.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he has them in his inventory, but does Dave have Bacchus wines in his inventory?
I have not seen Bacchus wines in this scene.
I thought no. Actually, now that you mentioned it,
But maybe
I
they were in the
haven't seen
moon shop. We did see Dubward check the moon shop that I wasn't paying attention to.
Yep. Yeah. I mean that happens when you're giggle snorting that much. It's a little distracting. It's okay. It's okay. We'll forgive you.
All right, we do have a jump out. Kane's gonna dodge this fire. Will it be enough with his Dragoon Spear to kill this D-Lunar?
Nope.
No.
But
Dang.
that fire won't kill him.
No.
Will he get one more
Hold A.
jump off? Oh, nope. Never mind. Oh, Dubward, buddy, we love you.
He is now in his thinking circles,
Yep.
deciding to go and check the Crystal Sword altar.
Not a bad
See
play.
if we can get a free boss there, get some levels, and
Yep,
then go
I
take
like
that spot again.
I like it. The let's see, 2, 6, 7, 8. Couple of key items shy on Dubward's side to get that double experience, but when in doubt, just go fight some bosses. I mean, you know the D-Lunars are there. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, Dubward has not picked up the Baron key, which means he did not do Sheila.
Nope, he did not do that very long chain on Earth. He got the darkness leaned into boss checking up here. This is Dr. Luge. So I think that means that we've seen every boss location on the moon. And there's only one boss up here.
There is. So let's go over some spots that we have not seen yet. We have not seen the giant 2 slot, so the CPU spot. We have not seen the package location.
Nope. And we've not seen Zot 1 or 2 because they did not do a Rex banner in Peak Zot 1 before heading up here.
You are absolutely correct. And I'm pretty sure that at least one of our runners would have gone ahead and done a treasure check, I feel like.
Yeah, so we are... Well, Dubward got the Earth Crystal from the moon, from the Ribbon Room. So, yeah, this is turning into a very interesting seed because that means that one of our bosses is gated behind an item that we get from the moon.
Yep.
Or is gated behind that CPU. I mean, that Wyvern at CPU. I mean, whatever. Oh my gosh. Elements. Giant. Okay. Words. Words.
Words are hard, ladies and gentlemen, and genders of all varieties. Words are hard, and they are very difficult, and should not exist at certain points. This message has been brought to you by the Blue Wizard.
So, I don't remember what this spot was. Oh, Kainatsu, bye. Dave is in full face check mode, but we will probably see him go ahead and take that that Dark Knight Cecil in the Ribbon Room because it's 2 key items and his Yang can just sit there and it'll just tickle.
Yeah. Yang will just look at the fight and go and just be like, this. What is this? because that is literally a less than 60-second fight, and could very well hold something, a key item that you might need. Which actually, now that I think about it, there are no key items that have not been found yet that are
Mm-hmm.
gating. Dubward's found the Earth Crystal in the package, but Dave doesn't know that. So that Earth Crystal, that package, could very well be behind that DKC.
Yep. So as soon as Dave does that DKC, he will have access to every boss spot. And then it's just a matter of where that last boss or those last two bosses are hiding.
And All Gauntlet was at Viken Spot.
So many D-Lunars currently on the screen.
Yep. Looks like Dubward is back to try those D-Lunars again, coming back at him, telling him that he has a bone to pick with him. No, okay.
We will see Dave get through this fight much quicker, just because of these levels.
Yep, and looks like he is down one D-Lunar. That seems to be the track record so far. At the moment, he looks to be in a little bit better shape. Looked to be in a bit better shape. And yes, chat, Tella can in fact cure 4 through double digits if he wishes and prays and hopes and promises and sings to the Tooth Fairy or something. I don't know. It's Tella with a cursed ring. He's not really going to do things. He's just going to be there more for utility.
But we do see Dave has gotten through his D-Lunars fight, is one boss away from go mode. We in the watcher's seats knows that he has to do that ribbon room, get through that DKC to get access to where we know these last two bosses have to be hiding.
Yes, because while you're at 6 out of 7 bosses, you realize that okay, you've got one more boss. However, you know you're missing key items that gate bosses, and with as much power overwhelming that you have, you know that a boss has to have the key item that you're looking for. So walk in here, take that DKC fight, and just hope get what you need. Hopefully, get that last boss in.
And as if this young didn't have levels, he's about to get 200,000 more experience.
Yep, just a young. You want more HP? You can get more HP.
But there's your Earth. There's your package. We will see a very, very quick Crystal Sword Altar check, and then we will see Dave exit out and head back down to Earth. Probably do Zot first because it's 2 boss checks, and then we have a pass. So
Tella whiffing on a blink. Oh, that seems to be a common occurrence this week. Tella whiffing on white mage spells.
Tella Cursed, I have learned, whiffs on everything. Berserk,
oh yeah,
Heal,
especially
Blink.
if he is in that center slot with I believe a 20% accuracy boost. Will still whiff on spells like Light 1, Cure, Blink, in my case Berserk. It is definitely a thing, folks. Be mindful of your Tellas. They will not spell. They will not do the spell good. Alright, and we are back to the frogs. Oh, and there's the king coming down for the blow! Killing blow! And the crowd goes wild.
Yay, Dubward gets his Protect Ring, knocks off his 5th boss, and now has some choices for himself to make.
Yes. So yeah, with Dubward being at 5 out of 7, I mean, so you know that you've got the Alt Gauntlet at Baron. You haven't. There's a strong chance that your opponent might not have checked the package, uh, and the Earth Crystal, which will give you the 3 boss checks well, out of what you have left. So it's kind of decision-making time to go and do, with as few key items as Dubward does have. It's kind of, where do you go first?
I think you chase what you get on the moon. So if I'm Dubward, I'm headed straight to that Earth Crystal first. And maybe the package.
Yep, I'm right there with you.
But he is going to Giant.
Oh. Well,
I mean, not a bad play. We
nope.
know that Wyvern hurts, though.
Yes. However, what we don't know is who's in that CPU spot.
That is true. But we do know that Dubward has not grinded yet.
Nope.
So this is going to take a lot. And also, Dubward does not have any Cure 3s. He's White Mage utility curing with Cure 2 pots right now.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, if you could get some of those Cure 3 pots, that'd be great.
So we will see what Dubward wants to do about this Wyvern. Meanwhile, Dave is headed straight up Zot. We'll check Zot 1, which you can peek without the Earth Crystal, and Zot 2. And if the boss that he does not need are here, then we know that the 2 bosses left are at package and the second spot of CPU.
Yep, and to answer chat's question, unfortunately, your Cure pots are another seed. Via a White Mage that, is just kind of hanging out, waiting to be rolled up. Alright, so we see Dave traversing the Tower of Zot. Dubward about to get the bad news about that Sparkle. And I don't think he could have reset quicker.
It was Zot 1 the entire time.
We will officially be in go mode.
Yep, we are in go mode. We will be nuking these 2 guards very quickly. And you know what? We didn't even need that stinky Earth Crystal.
Now, knowing that, because you don't even have to do Zot 2 at that point. You've done your grind, you've got your other bosses. You don't even have to do Zot 2. You just, although the question does come up, do you do Zot 2 just to get that port out real quick, or do you just walk backwards?
I walk backwards because otherwise you end up in Baron, and then you have to fly back. So you can actually warp the floors out of here, and that is much faster. And then you're landing right back outside of Troya with the pass, and you are good to go.
Yep. Because the tiles are the same between Zot and Babel, where I'm like, nope, I can't warp out of here, I'm just going to run. And then I remember that I can warp in. I feel silly.
But we do see Dubward also landing outside of Troya. We'll be headed up Zot. So we will get our look at who is hiding in Zot 2. If it is Golbez, this race gets a little more spicy.
Oh yeah. I'm here for all the double plays.
Yeah. It will be almost too little too late, even if it is Golbez, because Dubward still has not done a grind.
Clearly you underestimate the power of
1200 strats. 1200 strats, you need Cure 3 pots, which we know Dubward doesn't have.
Doesn't have it yet.
But meanwhile, we see Dave headed through the secret passageway to the pass, and that means one thing and one thing only.
I'm out of here. It's time to go to bed. Catch y'all later.
Nap time. Let's go.
Right. Hey, I actually took a nap before this race, and it was glorious. My mom tried waking me up, and I just clicked off the phone. I'm like, nope, this nap is way too good.
Oh
But
no! Oh wait, it's not
wait,
nap time.
oh,
It's
it's
not.
not nap
No.
time. No. Um,
Those Z flags mean something completely different.
surrender? No. Actually, those C flags, those are because we are unable to put Zemus anywhere. He's too big, too large, too fancy. Uh, so we randomize his sprite. Um, and but that does lead into another question. Do you know what that question is, J-Mac?
I'm just sitting here imagining what a fancy Zeromus looks like. He probably does have a hat.
I mean, look at all that hair. It's got to be in there somewhere.
And he's drinking tea with his pinky up in the air.
Yep, him and Monsieur Palais, the French building. They're having some croissant. Ladies and gentlemen, whose butts will we kick? Is it this butt cute? Does it have a butt? Will JMac.exe ever come back to prepare?
Hey, Blue, don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
I can't because apparently someone's going to be susmus among us.
Oh my gosh. We do see some white ears on this boss, and if I had my handy dandy pig meta chart up, I would be able to tell you if that could be Golbez or not, but I don't.
Well, we could just wait the 10 seconds and find out.
But that's no fun. Meanwhile, we do see Dave leaning into our reflect strats and darting strats.
Yep, and we see Dubward going up against that Bahamut again, which finely tuned coding. Bahamut is actually not a dragon as far as the game's programming goes. He is just a boss, and he hits and counts. Yes. So I think at this point, Golbez is going to be either package or giant 2.
Yep, behind that wyvern.
Or behind a really long wait.
But we do see some big nuke casts. Edge is now throwing out Cure 3s, so we are full reflect strats. So a few more nukes and our Z will be dead. No more suspicious Z sprites for us today.
I don't know. Seems kind of sus. Oh wait. Of course it's kind of sus. It's on the screen. Alright, we see Dubward flying back down to... Looks
Fey
like...
March.
Yep, Fey March.
He knows that the answer is somewhere in Fey March. Because he has... Well, other than the package, he did not do the cheeky package check.
Yep, so in this particular scenario, it's like, you've got 6 out of 7 bosses, you haven't seen a dot done yet. Would you do something like the package as kind of a last-ditch effort?
Because I faded everything that Dubward faded, I'm checking that package because it came from Moon before going through whatever chain is down here.
Agreed. Granted, yes, it is a 2.5-ish minute check, but it's definitely, it's kind of a wild card. When you've done so much in a seed, you've gone through so many checks, it is kind of a last-ditch effort or wild card or trump card or whatever that legitimately has the ability to pay off in scenarios such as this, because you're not going to touch that wyvern in Giant 1, so it's literally a 50-50 shot at this point. And
that is it.
That is a down Z on Engidave's side. GG's Engidave.
Yes, those reflect strats paid off, the double nuking paid off, and Dave has won this race and will be moving on in the waning bracket of the Blue Moon tournament.
And we'll see if Dave is up for an interview. by that dinging in my ears, that is a Engidave in my ears. GG's, Engidave.
Thanks. GG's to Dubward.
What a seed that was. How
It
are you
was-
feeling?
Well, a little panicky, especially after D-Money went a bit sideways, because counting MP is hard.
Yeah, it is. But you recovered quite nicely. Didn't lose it. And you know what? That Yang, I don't think he had enough hit points.
Could have had a few more. Unfortunately, the game says no going above that.
Yep.
Yeah, speaking of D-Money grids, how did you feel about that 65k Wyvern?
Okay, I can take it. Wait, I'm on BS1. This something has to go sideways real fast. Nope.
Yeah. So take us through. I guess maybe kind of your thought process for tackling some of this, because we know that some of the less than favorable bosses were in less than favorable spots. Like we all knew that you could have taken that DKC spot with the team that you had. What kind of made you double dip that spot?
I wanted to check the bottom before coming back to it, just because I didn't want to have my entire party dead going to that spot.
That's actually
I know that
quite smart. Quite smart indeed. But yeah, so you followed a chain, and it paid off.
Yeah, thankfully it did. I was following that chain entirely for the Baron key, because we knew Baron 1 was the alt gauntlet.
Yes. And it would have been super sad if that whole chain would not have paid off.
Oh,
that it was behind the elements all along.
I was fully expecting that chain to end in a samurai hat.
But how about crystal swords?
Come on, couldn't it have been X-Skulls? At least I could have yeeted those. Would I find 3 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least 3.
1 crystal sword, 2 crystal sword, 3 crystal swords.
For what it's worth, they could have funded everything I ever wanted to do, because that's 200,000 gold.
So yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's puts you just under 200k, which it kind of turns the seed into a little bit of an SMS, a little bit of a supermarket sweep, where it's like, oh, you want like 40 Cure 3 pots? Sure, just go ahead and pick this up. To which, speaking of, very well done on the double slingshot with Yang and Rydia.
This, no white mages, and the way with the party I had, this was going to be a D-Money slingshot the entire way. It was just, when do I find the darkness? Which is also why my first trip was to Troy to check the key item rather than start gathering characters. I wanted to know if this was an early darkness seed.
Yep, that is a question, because I mean, as you know, when you get that darkness crystal, it opens up 8 boss checks, which kind of literally opens up the seed. Was there ever a point in your mind to say, go ahead and do the package, just because of you're at 6 out of 7 and you still have several checks?
I had the past, which I think influenced my routing a bit. Because now I don't necessarily need to end on the moon.
Right. And
so,
you see
you see from the scroll right there, I got the package from the moon, so it's not like I was going to check it. I was going to check everything on Earth as soon as I got back, because I knew one of those 4 spots had to be my last boss.
Yep, and well, I mean, we definitely see how that paid out with the with that Zot 1 check. Just kind of taking them out real quick.
One of these days, I'm going to lose because of the Rex banner. There were, I had thoughts when I saw that Blue Harbor show up.
Yep, it is a cheeky sprite, that's for sure. And unless in the right spot, it's not going to tell you if it's the officers or the Baron guards.
Yeah, and when you watch this back, you will hear us freak out because you exited out of a required boss But we had it mismarked on ours, so we fixed that.
Oh, you had guards versus officer
Yep,
soldier?
we did, and so we were like, no!
Nah, it was a non-required boss, a non-key item, no reason to walk back down the tower.
But it was your second Dragoon Spear.
Very true, and if I kept Kane, maybe that Wyvern would have gone faster.
Yeah, decision between having Kane versus having Yang.
Yang hits harder after a slingshot. And has more speed.
So my final question is: you have an opponent, which I don't think I can say because it technically hasn't been 24 hours since their race. So how are you feeling about your next match via against Starman/Cubs?
Well, both of them are fantastic runners, and I'm gonna need to do some practice, tighten up my play a little bit before either of them, or before going against either of them.
Yep, it's definitely gonna be a showstopper for sure. Which actually kind of answers my question of like is there anything that you feel you want to improve upon? Anything that you're gonna change?
I think just play my game, not miscount my D machines or mismanage my MP if I have to take a grind like that.
Hey, I mean, Lilith rods do exist.
Incidentally, I did overshoot that D machine grind by 1 because I was, well, slightly panicked.
Well, you know what? Actually, you shortened it by 1 because you were 1 level off of Rydia getting Meteos. So
She learned it anyway. It's all good.
True story. But yeah, any final thoughts before we let you go this afternoon?
It's a very fun seed, Ribbon. I'd like to thank you, Ribbon Quest, for rolling this gem. Darth Plague for pushing all the buttons. Certainly gave you a lot of them. And I'd like to thank 2 of you, J-Mac and Blue, for commentating over this. I'm sure you had a blast.
You have no idea.
I 10 out of 10 recommend going back and watching the VOD.
I will do that.
But yeah, good luck in your next race via unnamed opponent who may or may not be lurking. And GG's today for a fantastic, efficient race you ran.
And good luck to Dubward in his next race.
Oh yeah. Have a good afternoon.
A good one.
So meanwhile, we see Dubward is chasing the rat tail chain that leads to the tower key, that leads to the pan, that leads to the Baron key. So we will see Dubward head to Baron to get that alt gauntlet, and then he too will be in go mode.
Yep, and let's see. See some zigzaggery.
Zigzaggery, I love that.
Yep, that's that move, that particular maneuver is it's very similar to the thing you do in bowling when you throw the bowling ball down and you're like bending to try and get the ball to somehow move and curve to get that strike. Yeah, that's the zigzaggery with the Enterprise.
Zigzaggery. Okay. Well. Okay. So we're just flying and bowling.
Yep.
Okay. That's
exactly.
Fair.
Yep. All right.
That's
we see Dubward starting to. Oh, and it looks like that is Dubward doing a .ff. And I believe he is joining us in the booth. Hello, Dubward. GG's to you.
Thank you. GG's, Dave. Man, you put on a great show.
I'll open up real quick with what were your thoughts on that seed?
Well, thoughts are I'm stubborn, apparently. And yeah, I bet you anything the Toad strats were the way to go on that. But yeah, I had it fixed in my head. I got a Dragoon Lance. I can take care of these guys. Let me just swap that power shirt out. Try number 6, try number 7. I was determined to do it. But
Well, you
yeah,
did.
lessons learned. Yeah,
You did it
yeah.
eventually.
And then eventually found the rest of that chain. I should have took that plague too, right when I went down there, but back in my mind, I'm thinking, well, that's just time wasted, you know? So
Hmm.
I was like, yeah, I'll leave that for now. But then as soon as I got through those D-lunars, I didn't want no part of that moon. I saw Wyvern at Elements. I wanted no part of the Giant. I was like, well, let's just knock out a few more down in the bottom and see where that goes. And sure enough, that was it.
Yep.
Fun
I mean,
time.
it's quite literally one of those. It's a prime example of just literally uh, the seed decided by a single check,
Oh
right?
man. Oof.
Hmm. And the
I'm
And
question
excited.
of when do you enter full face check mode versus when do you take bosses
Yeah.
for key items? I mean, that's the meta question for
Oh,
Blue Moon flags. And you know what? You did that early moon play, and we were applauding you because that whole chain behind Plague that you were going to skip if it was going to pay off that two bosses were up there.
mhm. was
That
was
could have
Golbez
been
ever
really
found?
cool.
Oh, sorry, I didn't interrupt.
No, you're
you're
good.
good.
Yeah, did Dave get Golbez or no? He didn't need to, right?
No.
Nope. Uh,
So Golbez is either behind that
Wyvern.
Wyvern or at package, which I was
Yeah.
hoping you were gonna do that package check.
I thought about that too for a split second. I mean, when you walk into dealers for the umpteenth time,
Hmm.
you start thinking about anything. I'm grasping for straws here, but yeah, that was
yeah,
a fun one.
it was a 50-50 that was going to be the package or Giant 2, and I mean, I don't think anyone in the community would have blamed you for not doing Giant because Wyvern at the element spot is just a big giant nope.
Yeah,
I mean, we all commend you for running the seed that you did. It was definitely a tough one for sure. With routing and where everything was, um, and much like J Mac was saying, her, myself, all of chat, definitely applauding you for sticking it out, and especially for taking down those D-lunars.
yeah,
That was a fight. I mean, they punch hard, they flame hard, and it is not a nice fight.
yeah. I appreciate it. Like I said, hopefully it was something to watch. I didn't want to disappoint you too much, but yeah, I
Oh,
kind of had
it
a
was
feeling walking into this.
entertaining for sure.
Yes, if you would like to check out the VOD, I recommend it.
Oh, most definitely.
Uh,
We
I'm
might have
not
had
really.
a little too much fun on stream
Yeah,
today.
you
I'm
know,
sure.
we
No,
there's.
I'm sure.
I
Oh,
feel like there
great.
are going to be new meta objectives coming in the future.
And
Um,
do I get a button at all out of this, or should I be worried about an incoming button here soon? I'm just curious.
I
Not
mean, would you
yet.
like a button?
Okay, okay.
I
I
can
made
give
it
you
through,
one.
so no. I want
But my final question is you are not out of this tournament, even though you have lost. You are entering the waxing bracket.
yes,
I
ma'am.
cannot, for the life of me, read my very tiny handwriting to know who you will actually be facing next week in your next match. But how are you feeling about entering the waxing bracket and being at one loss?
100%. I definitely feel like I'm not into this at all. I'm just gonna keep at it, keep doing what I'm doing, and yeah, I'm excited to be in the waxing bracket. Let's get it. Why not?
And do you think that you'll like what is your ultimate takeaway from this particular seed?
Stubbornness. Just stubbornness.
All right,
Know when
stubbornness
to
will get you
fold,
far.
and call it and just walk away for a second, which I did, but then had to come
Yeah.
back and then, ugh,
Realize
yeah.
that the seed is still going. Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, no, I felt really good. I definitely look forward to watching all this back because yeah, I'm sure the comms were great. The chat was probably providing tons of information. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, Dave,
Yeah.
again. GG's to him, and good luck to him in the rest of the tournament. And, yeah,
And the
You played
GG's to
really,
you.
really well. It was a lot of fun to watch you play, and look forward to seeing what you can do in the
thank you.
One of those.
waning bracket. This is waxing. I'm getting these moons completely mixed up. It's fine. We're fine.
It's totally fine. We're good. Dubward, thank you again for the amazing race. You have yourself a great rest of today.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you all.
Thank you. All right, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, we here in the booth, we on the Restream team, would like to thank you all for your time here today. We no, okay, I was gonna do like a William Shatner whole thing, but you know what? We
I
are
didn't know
going.
what he was going to do.
I mean, I could do it. Would you like me to do an outro thing?
Sure, you can
Okay,
take it.
sure.
Oh, we. Oh, okay, I
No, no,
get it. Okay.
yeah, unintentional fun. Ladies and gentlemen, women and children, genders of all ages, we will be rating on over to Slippery for the Seed of the Week. Now, must remind you, full disclaimer, do not go and give any spoilers. Do not go ahead and spoil what you have seen here today because they are running and they might go ahead and newspaper you. They not being the person that you're going to be going ahead and streaming to, but people of the admin team. Newspapers are not fun. Do not go and spoil anything. We'd like to go ahead and provide our runners with the highest quality entertainment, so we will be going ahead and moving on over to Slippery Stream. If you are going to participate in the Seed of the Week, go ahead and dip out now.
But
If
this is
not,
not all of Free Enterprise. Later on tonight,
yes,
we have 2 more matches on this channel as well as Free Enterprise 2. 8 p.m. Eastern
8 p.m.
and 9 p.m. Eastern. So we will see you there for some more fantastic tournament matches.
Yes, and do have all of yourselves a great rest of today. Um, Uno Man, we are not commentating. We actually have a there is a rule or policy in place that we do not do more than one per day to not cause burnout. Um, so we but there will be some races that I know that I'll be volunteering for throughout the week. But go ahead and when we get over there, give him a warm welcome, give him a follow. We are going over to Slippery. He's a great member of the community. Um, with that, we do have the races that JMax said, and we've already gone ahead and moved over. I'm here. I'm here.